Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we find ourselves out in nature, where you'll be collecting the cutest bears to form your bear paws to obtain the coveted honey jar. Bear With Me is for 2 to 4 players, it takes 20 to 30 minutes to play, is for ages 8 and up, and published by My Sweet and Small. Now it's being crowdfunded right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works and I'll see you on the other side. This is a crowdfunding preview, so all the art and components you see here are not final, they're prototypes. To check the most up-to-date art and components, see the link in the description of this video. But even with that being said, aren't these the most adorable little bears you've ever seen? The object of the game is to win 3 rounds, because each round that you win, you'll collect one of these honey cards, and to get 3 of them, that's how you win the game. Now to start the game, you're going to shuffle a deck of cards and deal each player 7 cards. Now, they'll be able to see them, but they'll keep them secret from other players. Now, the game is played over multiple rounds, and each round goes through multiple cycles. So, during a cycle, the first player is going to flip over the top card from the stack like this. Then that player is going to randomly take a card from all the other players and also place them in this run. So in this case, we were playing a 4-player game. There were 3 other players, so there's 3 more additional cards placed out there. This line of cards is known as the bear run. Then the first player is going to take their turn, and what you're trying to do is create the bear paws by collecting multiple cards of the same number. Now, one thing they can do is take a card from this bear run. Now, if they take it, they must use it this turn. So let's say they take this 8. Now they're going to place that in front of them, and they did that because they also had another 8 from their hand that they can add to it. And now you're making the 8 a bear claw. Now you can only make 1 bear claw per turn, and this is known as a silver bear claw because you have to have at least 2 matching cards to have a bear claw. Now they might have had another 8 in their hand, and because they were making an 8 bear claw that turn, they could have added those 2 cards having 3. If you have 3 or more of the same number, that's a full bear claw. Now this is going to be important for the end of the round. We'll talk about that later. But you're trying to make these bear claws because at the end of the round, you're going to add up all the points. Here we have 3 8s, so that would be 24 points. Now let's say on a previous turn, you had a silver bear claw, so you had 2 8s. And on a future turn, there was another 8 out in that bear run. You can add it to a previously started bear claw. So you don't have to play them all at once. You can add to a bear claw as well. Then it would be the next player's clockwise turn. Now, players do not have to take a card from the bear run to add or start a new bear claw in front of them. They can use just the cards in their hand. The reason why it's important to possibly try to use these if you can, and again, if you take one from here, you have to use it that turn. Now explain why this is important. Let's say the second player doesn't use one of these. And let's say the third player doesn't either, but let's say the fourth player uses this one. Now everyone has taken a turn, and it's back to the first player again. Now remember, the most you can take from here is 1 card, but you're not forced to. But now that it's back to the first player, if they were able to have taken a card from this bear run to create or add to a bear claw this round, after everyone else has taken a turn, any cards left over get added to their hand. So they're getting a lot more cards in their hand. So that's why not only you, but other players are going to try to use those too to make sure they don't give up too many cards to the first player. Now if that first player either was not able to make a bear claw, and if you're not able to make one, you just simply skip your turn. Or if they didn't take from the bear run, if they only added cards from their hand, when it gets back to them, they don't get these cards. They actually get stacked like this and face down at the bottom of the stack. Then the player to the left of the one that had started the bear run last turn is going to do it this turn. They're going to build that bear run as I showed earlier, and they're going to take the first turn of this cycle. And also when starting a new cycle, if any player has no cards in their hand, they draw 5 cards. Now these cycles will continue until at least one player has created 3 different full bear claws. Full bear claws are 3 more cards. Here's a full one. That's a silver one. Here's a full one. Here's a full one. Remember, you can have more than 3. There's 4 of the 3s there. So at that point, all the players are going to add up all the points. You simply add up all the points on each of the sets of your bear claws. Now it's important, only the full bear claws add as points. So this is going to be 24 points. This scores us nothing because it's only a silver bear claw because you don't have at least 3 cards. This is getting us 30 points and this is getting us 12 points. However, you must subtract the amount of points that are in your hand. Let's say I still had a 9. I'm going to subtract 9 points from that. That's going to be my total for the round. And whoever has the most is going to get the honey card. Anyone that gets the third honey card wins the game. At the end of a round, you'll take all of the cards in the entire game, shuffle them up, and start another round. You'll play this until any player gets 3 honeys. That's the end of the game. Now there'll also be a Mayhem expansion pack available, and essentially this allows you to, instead of taking a card from the bear run, you play a card from another player, and it will enact a certain special effect that will affect that player. Well, there you have Bear With Me, and as I showed in the overview, it's a light, cute, simple strategy game that balances skill and chance. Now, if you'd like to see the most up-to-date art and components and all the different pledge levels available, you can click the link directly below me right in the description of this video. Now, that's going to take you directly to the crowdfunding project page, and I'm sure that My Sweet and Small would love your support.